All right. Oh, so yeah, let's get back to what we were just talking about. So let's show the second video. You mentioned it a little bit, Rome. Let's get back into the conversation about Kim Iversen and the interview she did with Alan Dershowitz. I think that's how you say his name on Epstein. She had some questions on, and so let's listen to the second tape. We started with the intro with the more salacious when she's talking about Epstein, and then he's pushing back. But let's go to the beginning of the interview with this clip right here.
Mr. Dershowitz, while I have you here, I covered the Jeffrey Epstein case extensively, and your name came up quite often. Virginia Giuffre actually accused you, then later backtracked, say that she had made a mistake. There were others who had also accused you, but you had said that they couldn't properly identify you or certain parts of you, and therefore...
No. It wasn't identified. It's that one woman said she saw me walking up the stairs of Epstein's house at a time years before I'd ever met Epstein. So that was just a complete made-up story. And the other woman had written a series of letters to the New York Post claiming she had videotapes of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton having sex together, and have many other people. And then, of course, she backed away from all of it. And
so what he's saying here is that these two people that she's pointing out, one said she did see him in the house or somewhere, wherever, but it was years before he had ever even met Epstein, so it didn't apply to the situation. And then he says this other lady who made this claim of him makes a bunch of claims, and he's trying to, so it's basically trying to assassinate her character by saying she said this. She said that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton had sex too, and she said she had a videotape of that, and some other claims this lady did make. But any thoughts on what, the two examples here from either JB?
It's only a conspiracy until we find out it's true. I mean, it's a gross idea, but it's not too far-fetched, seeing that these people are in the same clubs. If you are in motorcycle gangs, a lot of people have same sex, sex with the same type of people, and certain clubs you're gonna have sex on your way up. So I can see powerful people having sex with each other. That's not far-fetched, but that's not even a problem. They are two grown adults, no matter if they are swingers or whatever the fuck. Our problem is you being on the island and possibly having your way with children, and seeing that you didn't deny that you was on the island, I say, saying, hey, I take the latter on this one, but it is what it is. I don't think it's far-fetched to say these powerful people are having sex with each other. Of course, celebrities do it all the time, but the problem is the children, and you was on that island, like you confirmed. What I want out of him now, if he would go on anybody else's show, maybe we can trap him to come on RBN. Maybe we can get him to identify that 45-year-old woman that gave him a back massage that we never had any idea that existed, because all the people that we seen giving massages look like they're 20 and down. So
yeah, he's gonna actually mention that. So he's gonna mention this lady right now, actually, in I think the next couple of seconds here.
I've been completely, totally exonerated and vindicated. I never met any of these people. I never heard of them. I defended Jeffrey Epstein the way I've defended hundreds of other people, some guilty, some innocent. But I did absolutely nothing wrong. I've been completely exonerated. I've been completely vindicated. I'm completely innocent. I've never touched anybody sexually since the day I met my wife during the relevant time period. And so I did nothing wrong, and nobody who's ever accused me has done it with any evidence or any credibility. So I'm happy to go on with my life. Let them go on with their lives, but categorically, unequivocally, I did nothing wrong.
This nigga lying.
You do admit that you did receive a massage at his mansion?
No. What happened is my wife got a massage at his house, and then I had a neck and shoulder massage from a woman named Olga, who was like 45 years old.
Olga.
Hold up. Wait a minute. He said, no, I didn't get a massage, but then he said he did get a massage. So which one is it, Alan?
And you
Which
see
one is
how
it?
he's so detailed with his massage. That's how you know it's something else going on. He like, oh, it was above the waist massage, neck and shoulder. That was it. I didn't even take off my shirt for this. I didn't even have to take off my shoes. I didn't lay down. We didn't put down no towels. It was a neck and shoulder rub. From
I was
whom?
gonna point out the same thing, Rome. I was gonna say, how come you just say my wife got a massage, but then your massage has a specific name? Like, how come your massage has a specific? I was gonna point out the same thing is because he's trying to make sure everybody understands it was a neck and shoulder massage. There was no laying down, and she was 45, and then he says on top of that, her name was Olga. So come on, that's like, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. Let's let it finish out and see what else he says.
Virtually everybody who went to any of Jeffrey Epstein's houses got therapeutic massages. They were offered to everybody, but I've never had a sexual massage or anything improper. I've never been touched by an underage person. So no, that's not true at all. Okay. What else? You have anything else you want to throw at me?
Okay, so since JB joined, I know you probably have seen a clip, but let's play the second clip again. This was our intro.
Absolutely
nothing. But this is right after he said that this is the second part to that first video we just.
Okay.
Just a couple more things.
Absolutely nothing wrong. Yeah.
Okay. Well, many of us suspect that Jeffrey Epstein was an asset to Mossad, and that Ghislaine Maxwell was in fact an agent of Mossad. There's a lot of evidence that point to this direction. And
so I believe when he says, I'm jumping the video, but I believe when he says, I wasn't told about this line of questioning, I think this is what he's talking about, the Mossad part. He doesn't consider when she says you're gonna talk Jeffrey Epstein in the tweet. He doesn't consider that this because he doesn't see any, or that's what that's what he's trying to point out. There is no connection. This is the part where I think he's saying this line of questioning wasn't brought up to me that you were gonna do.
Like he's trying to distance himself from Epstein as far as possible. But dude, you've been on that island like 40 fucking times, dude. Like, there is we have to ask questions not only about Epstein, but what have you done with Epstein, seeing the crimes that this man have committed against these children and these teens. Like, you can't just say, oh yeah, well, Epstein a bad dude, he's locked away, yeah, he hung himself, and yep, that's the end of the conversation. No. Why was you over there? What was y'all doing over there? Oh, I got a back and massage, and that was just it. 40-something times? What else you do on that fucking island, man? It's like,
she makes a point. Carrie makes a point here and says vibrators are called massages. So it could be a play on words. That's what she just said. So, hey, hey, it's one of those conversations. It's one of those conversations. We're getting a little sexually explicit, but hey, it is what it is. That's what this
Look,
is the conversation.
CJ, we gotta have one of these awkward moments.
Hey, I don't feel awkward. I worked in a strip club for 3 years. I like sexual stuff. I don't feel awkward pretty much about too much. Yeah. So
you saw some.
Yeah, but anyway, let's. Well, I'm not gonna go that far. There is some stuff, but not this. I haven't reached that level yet. Let's just put it there. Yeah. Let's listen to the rest of what he says here, and then. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just to let everybody know, because she said an agent of Mossad. Some people are probably like questioning, like, what is Mossad? Here it is. It says Mossad is the National Intelligence Agency of Israel. It is one of the main entities in the Israeli intelligence community, along with Amman, military intelligence, and Shin Bet, internal security. So Mossad is responsible for intelligence collection, covert operations, and counterterrorism.
They're like they're Israel's version of our CIA. Is how somebody explained it to me, because we did a segment on it back like when we our first year in RBN, when we were FHL actually. So that is a great point, because at the time, JB, I didn't know who Mossad was, and that's why it had to be explained in the segment. So I'm gonna back it up like 10 seconds, and So just so we can say that last part again, and then it'll continue. Everybody, I can't see you, so just verbally let me know when you want me to stop the video.
In fact, an agent of Mossad. There's a lot
Totally
of evidence
nonsense.
that point to this direction, and that
there's no
they were
evidence.
operating a blackmail operation in order to get very powerful people, including people like yourself, in precarious positions to where you could potentially work on behalf of the state of Israel or protect the state of Israel.
I've been working on the state of Israel. I've been working for the state of Israel since before you were born. Jeffrey Epstein once visited me in Israel. He had never been there. He didn't know anybody in Israel. He didn't work for the Mossad. The Mossad wouldn't hire him. And I hope he had videotapes of everybody, because they would show I never did anything improper. I have one other question. Are you used to having people come on your show to talk about one subject and then sandbagging them on another subject without any warning? Because it's nice to know you do that. And it will make certain that I have nothing to hide. I'm happy to talk about any of this, but I'm used to more.
Oh man, that was classic how he brought that shit up. But I mean, it's kind of gangster. He brought it up right there. He didn't wait till like off camera. He was like, "Oh, this is what you doing?" He answered the question, and then he's like, "Oh, this how you run your show, okay?"
Man,
go ahead, JB, or Rum. Go ahead.
Sure this man is responsible for multiple deaths and a lot of SAs and RAPEs. So I'm pretty sure he don't give a damn about Kim Iversen and her show. You like, oh, you want to go there? You don't know how powerful I really am. You better shut the hell up.
All right. So, JB, I know you have the face. Did you want to chime? Did you also want to chime in? Somebody has to clip that face from that like 10 seconds.
Look, let's just luxuriate in the fact that Kim got him shook, like somebody said in the comments, because I noticed, if you guys see in the earlier of clips, if you notice, his right eye is twitching.
I noticed that too. Yeah.
There's only a couple of times where your eye may twitch like that, and it's under high stress. Could it possibly be that he feels pressed?
Somebody said she caught him with his pants down. I wish we did.
No, we don't.
I wish we did.
We don't. No.
That way this motherfucker won't be here lying right now. I wish they do have cameras. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's some shit. That sounds like some shit I say get caught cheating on my baby mama back in the days. Man, I wish they would. You would see me and my boys just chilling in the club. That nigga lying. If they had cameras, do you know how many people would be under investigation going down for, man, they are burning evidence. They are getting rid of people. People are dying. People are getting locked up with no accountability for the people that, you know what I'm saying, that they didn't fished out the put on these young women. Like, come on now, man. If it was cameras, we would have caught him with his pants down. I'm pretty sure it was cameras, but the powers that be, I'm pretty sure that they got him, because the powers that be is more likely on those cameras also, like Trump, and Bill Clinton. He also he has a painting in there of him in a blue dress. Like, what the fuck is going on? You freaky deaky motherfuckers.
All right, let's play the video. Let me know when you wanted me to stop it, fellas.
Did anything improper. I have one other question. Are you used to having people come on your show to talk about one subject and then sandbagging them on another subject without any warning? Because it's nice to know you do that, and it will make certain that I have nothing to hide. I'm happy to talk about any of this, but I'm used to more ethical journalism.
No, we actually did notify the people who booked you onto the show that you would be asked about Epstein, and they assured us that you were aware of this.
No, they never notified me about that, and you'd have to show me that email.
Okay. One last question. Do you think that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
No, of course not. Well, he didn't kill himself without the help of some people. He did kill himself, but he killed himself with the help of guards. He didn't do it by himself. He couldn't have done that, obviously, though. The videos were turned off. and the guards turned their back, and his cellmate left. So I think he killed himself, but he killed himself with the assistance of some people in law enforcement.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dershowitz, thank you so much for joining
That's a
the
lot
show.
of words to say.
Hang on.
The government killed his ass. The government killed him. What is so hard about saying that? The government kills celebrities, dude. They kill, you know what I'm saying, people who got less information, you know what I'm saying, who has less power and reach than Jeffrey Epstein. Why is that so hard to say? The government killed them. The powers that be killed them. You could have threw out any name, MIB, MIC, you know, anybody. We would have believed it because, yes, it's the truth. He was killed. And even if he did hang himself, he was killed. That man should have been in a 24-hour watch. You know, I have been in jail multiple times. And when they say 24-hour lockdown, when you a max, you're max. You know what I'm saying? They have cameras on you. That means when you taking the stuff, when you taking the shit, when you touching yourself, they watching you at all times. They watch you at all times. So yes, he was killed. That's not hard to say. But then again, he got to play his role. He got to act like he got to distance himself from this shit. Like, oh yeah, but it is what it is, man. These people aren't going to be held accountable by anybody, because the same ones that they need to be held accountable by are the same ones in those videos and pictures and documentation. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to end the segment, for those, because we're going to clip this segment, so I got to reinsert this. And I don't know if you saw this, JB, but this is the proof that she posted that her people did bring up to his people that he was going to be asked about Epstein. And the blue is her people. It says, Kim said yes to Dershowitz today at 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Question. She, assuming that's meaning Kim, she has to bring up Epstein, FYI. Let me know if Dershowitz can do today or tomorrow. Today is better. And then Dershowitz people says, I'll check with D. I'm assuming that's Alan. He's back to back today. So today it could be now work, that grammatically works, or it could be might not work. So it could be a typo. So either way, it sounds like it was brought up at least to their people. And I'll ask you the same question to kind of close this out, because I asked it to Rome. I asked Rome, like, if he was brought on the show and his people didn't tell him something like this, we brought him on the show to bring and talk about Tour for the Poor, and then we get him on the show, and then we want to ask him about old text 15 years ago. And then he's like, hey, why you didn't tell me you're going to ask me about this? And we're like, hey, we did. We told your assistant. How would you take this if this is true? If it's true, his assistant didn't tell him, and, you know, by this on the video, I guess that's the claim he's trying to make. If you were in this situation, if somebody, hey, JB, we want to bring you on to talk about all the work RBN is doing in the community. Okay, yeah. And they bring you on, and it's completely something else. Some scandal you had back in high school. Hey, what about you in this picture right here when you were doing, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, well, why did you trap me like this? What kind of journalist? What do you mean trap you?
We caught you doing straight face, JB. We caught you doing
straight. And then they say, I told your assistant, JB. What would your reaction be?
What
if your assistant, if you had an assistant, if you had an assistant, like, and this was slipped up, let's say, you know, your guest, the person who interviewed you, was able to produce, look, this is the text where I told your assistant that, look, I'm going to bring up blah, blah, blah in high school when JB put it in the ice cream machine.
I mean,
you know
I would apologize to the person interviewing me, and I would be like, I'm sorry, I was not aware, I was not informed by my assistant, and then I would take that up with my assistant. That's pretty much all it would be. Because the thing is that, you know, if it was given to the assistant to give to me, and then they okayed it as if I gave them okay, then I'm going to be like, you know what? I apologize for saying that. I shouldn't have said that. You actually did reach out to my assistant. My assistant was the one who dropped the ball. And so I'm not going to blame you for asking the question. I'm going to blame my assistant for okaying the question to be asked in the first place if I did not want it to be asked.
Okay, this is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
funny.
I don't think somebody
This is
like
pretty
him.
funny.
Somebody in his corner, somebody in his cabinet, they don't like him too much, and they let that slip by just because they wanted him to be exposed. And we have people like that work for a lot of evil people and be like, you know what, it's about that time you've been exposed. You've been abusing us for too long. You've been abusing the people too long. You know, it's time for a slip up. So I believe somebody has set him up from the inside out. Or from the inside. It's always an inside job when some shit go down like that.
Guaranteed, though, that's going to be clipped and then shared on mainstream media one day. Watch.
Wait, which part, JB? Which clip part are you saying is going to be clipped?
The part about sandbagging, and
the
then
sandbagging
the
part.
things that he said, regarding the massages and stuff like that. I honestly think the whole thing is going to be clipped and then used in mainstream media at least at one point at a time, because this is big. That's Alan Dershowitz, man. Like, I mean, they literally showed him in an SNL skit as the devil. So, I mean, let's be real. Like, he is famous. So for her to be able to get Alan Dershowitz is a big deal.
And to get him out of a square.
To get him out of where, Rome? Say that again.
And to get him out of a square. That's also a good thing for her.
Out of his square, you mean like out of like where he normally like get interviews?
Yeah,
like
he wasn't expecting a hard hitting question. He thought it was gonna be a softball interview.
Sort of like we did that to like Marion Williamson. That's sort of like the same thing. Yeah, that's true.
I also think, and maybe it might not be this, but let me just toss this out there. It also could be a sexism thing. Because some of these dudes, they be going on interviews with women and they be thinking, oh man, this is not going to be that hard. It's going to be kind of easy, blah, 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 blah. And she's young, blah, blah, blah.
She don't know nothing.
These women will come with a hard-hitting question. You know how Sabby do.
Mm-hmm.
You know how she do. She'll come in all sweet and everything, and she'll be asking all the questions in a very chill manner. Next thing you know, it's some hard-hitting questions. Same thing with Kim Iversen. Hard-hitting questions. I wish she got to talk to Fauci. I really do. Because the thing is that there were some hard questions that she could have asked. And the thing is that it's like, don't be sleeping on these sisters out here that be asking these questions, because they get you. And the thing is that some of these dudes be sleeping. And look what happened with Brianna Joy Gray and oh my God, what's his name? Majority Report. Sam Cedar. Sam Cedar slept on Brianna Joy Gray. And next thing you know, she asked him some hard ass questions. Next thing you know, he couldn't even get out the right answer.